As you approach, a couple of the carrots sitting around a fire near the entryway kind of like stand up, and one says, "Good evening. Can we help you?"
Well, this is like at the entrance, right?
Yeah.
Oh, shove Robin forward.
Yeah. Well, the other one actually kind of like spots Robin a second before you do that and says, kind of nods and says, "Greetings, sister. I do not recognize you."
It's fine. We're here to see if we can have a meeting with Ruslan, the elder.
What is your sect?
That's the Kersar.
Yeah.
Care about it. Be like, oh, please, Kersar all the way.
Kind of nods and says, "Very well. Are you new to the city?"
Yeah, we pulled up in port just this morning.
And who are these?
This is my captain.
Question. The Karaites I hung out with after that incident, were they Kerjahat or Kersara?
I guess we never nailed that down. That can be either your decision or it can just random it 50-50.
I will roll a die because I feel like those are both D10s. So that doesn't work. Those are also both D10s. Also, I rolled and then realized I didn't decide which is which. Highest Kerjahat. 95. Kerjahat all the way.
All right.
That was Kersar scrum.
Seems that's the way it is in this.
I'll let Robin do it.
I say in the Carrot tongue, I'll say this is my captain. She's you're not Drostian, you're.
I am Tyrellian.
She's a Tyrellian that was.
Is there some descriptor for storm touched? That the guy.
There is a word, yeah.
Okay, I will give that word.
Okay. Yeah, she spent some time with our people. This is Mr. Dibbs, first mate. He's alright, but he's got a pretty cool loot that's magical, so.
Yeah. Alright, yep, so you explain that to them in their tongue. So Tara, you just say storm touched and like point to yourself.
Yep.
I imagine at this point I also know that, and I probably something about that.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do it. You can do it too, just to cover all our bases.
Yeah. So there's a kind of like an exchange of glances. You're not entirely sure if these two random guys know what that means, but they take it in stride. But yeah, after your explanation, he just kind of nods and says, "Well, welcome. Elder Ruslan is in the center tent. You can go and speak with him. He is not busy at the moment, I do not think."
Thank you.
I like the spread of people, like within the three of us. Like we have the 100% native girl, the person who is like kind of in touch with them, but definitely not one of them, and then the white guy. Who's like, I don't know, I was super rich, I have a loot.
Yeah. Now I'm here.
I'm nice enough.
Yep.
Yep. Does Lucas speak Carrot? I can't. Yep. Okay, yeah, because he's part.
Yeah.
He had some blood in him. All right, yeah. So you head into the main part of the tent, and or the main part of the area, the commune. That's what I'm looking for. That word. Until you get to like the main tent, and
Okay.
there are a handful of carriages kind of like going about their business in the evening. You pass by a group smoking some kind of pipe around a fire.
I don't know if I've been around this many Karaites that weren't slaves in a very long time.
Not since in a very long time. So that's something.
Interesting.
You feel a little fluttering in your chest, which is excitement, and maybe not all entirely your excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as you kind of like duck into the main tent, you see the faint embers of the fire like very dimly light the room, and what you assume to be the elder is there. He's this very very thin, like wiry man. His skin looks like it's like just straight leather, very wrinkly and tough, and his eyes are closed, sort of in front of the fire as you step in. But as you duck down, he kind of like opens his eyes, and they're this very like pale, colorless white. His irises. And he kind of like looks at each of you and says, in Dracian. Well, would he say it in Dracian? No, he would just say it in Karaite because Robin's there. Says, I do not recognize you. Welcome. Please sit.
Thank you, Elder. No. Motion for the others to sit.
I heard, welcome. Something,
Yeah.
maybe sit. Good.
Mm.
Yeah, sit down.
I'll probably like initiate conversation in Karaite, but then like pretty quickly move to Dracian and attempt to show that like
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
I want the others to hear. I don't want to be the one driving this.
Right.
But why not?
What brings you to my tent?
I'll hand him the letter. Well, the letter just says, like, go see this guy, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I'll hand him the letter, and then say,
We're
the
here.
Lord Admiral
We found this.
gave this to us in reference to an ancient ruin we are looking for. He seemed to think that you could help us.
I see. I can.
Oh,
Those of my tribe have lived on this island for many generations. We know of this ruin. What interest do you have in it?
We are. So
Did you say ruin
okay.
or ruin?
I know that this isn't necessarily a Karaite ruin, right?
No, it's not a Karaite ruin.
It's older than the
yeah.
Karaite culture.
Like the beginnings of Karaite culture seem to have like been around when this civilization existed. But yeah, like this is a civilization that predates the Karaites. And they refer to them as the others.
I can't speak for everyone, but myself, I am storm-touched. I seek knowledge. The crew of my vessel, they seek coin from our employer. I cannot speak for these two.
I just wanted to get out of the shithole that I was before I found these guys.
He kind of looks over at Mr. Dibbs.
My life took quite the turn. I am here.
Bio over.
Yeah.
How much of that backstory you wrote did you share with us, if any? I mean, like, you've alluded to
Yeah,
kind of like your
I
connection.
imagine he's sung most of it, so like
Yeah.
we probably don't know what's true or what isn't. And
Yeah, it's mixed in with a hearty bit of embellishment. So
Yeah. But
No way this asshole was that rich. Get the heck out of here.
Yeah, but for most of it, if not all of it.
Okay.
So Ruslan says, I see. I must ask, or we continue. You are of our kind. What are you called?
I'm gonna have to find it, aren't I? Cat, Robin, and then whatever that is.
Romalan.
Yeah, that one.
And your names, he says, kind of like looking to the other two.
Tara the jump.
What the hell is my... Now I forgot. Oh, yeah. Bert Dibbs.
Is that the first time they've heard your first name?
Yeah.
I am definitely gonna look at you in a very, like, really?
Both of us just like, what?
Alright,
I don't use it very often.
Bert.
Guess I've never asked.
I mean, my first
So
name isn't Mister.
Suppose.
Alright, so
I guess I just thought it was this whole time.
That's
Ruslan.
just my reputation.
Ruslan nods and says, and Robin, to what are you sworn?
I really should have this written down.
You can just say the
What's her name?
translated version.
Yeah, even that. The Muse.
Calamity's
Make it
Muse.
go. Calamity's Muse. That's the one.
Have I ever heard that out loud?
Probably
I know.
not.
I know you said the Karite version of it.
Yeah, we've done some ramblings and like
Because
there
you
was
did
that
the
one time where
ritual.
we searched for hours for a bug,
Yeah.
and then I did the ritual.
Just, like, this would probably represent months of knowing Robin, but can I roll to see if I know anything about that?
Sure. Give me an occult roll. At -4.
How about Luca?
Okay.
Yeah, he could roll 2. -2 for Luca.
Nope,
Okay.
I got a 0.
Damn. Without that minus, I'd have got it. Well, I got a 2.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So neither of them have heard of that name, aside from in with reference to Robin. So Ruslan kind of nods and says, so you will not be joining the commune then?
Do I know Why?
You're not sure why he would assume that.
Can I ask why not?
Those who swear themselves to the Muse walk their own path. I would assume that you knew this.
Oh,
Tara
yeah.
pulls out a notepad and starts writing the shit down.
You're learning so much today.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
I am guessing that your path into adulthood was not an easy one, as it is for some.
Some would say I'm not even there yet.
You have sworn yourself to a patron. You are an adult in the eyes of the Karaites.
Tell that to this extra Benny I have.
Touche. He says, very well.
No, it was not. Life kind of sucks, but hey, I'm doing all right.
I would expect a follower of the Calamitous One to seek this place.
Yep, that's why I'm here.
I will warn you, it is not someplace that is wise to tread. The ancient ruin lies beneath the peak Terbella Knock, the Riven Peak. It is the largest mountain on this island. The gate there, between the two peaks, lies in the bottom of a small chasm. It is sealed, and those of us who thought to enter were warned by our patrons.
Do I have any? Have I been? Do I have any feeling or like inclination that the Muse is wanting me to do this?
You get that, so that feeling of sort of like fluttering excitement in your chest,
Yeah.
like butterflies, that has intensified throughout
Okay.
this conversation. So you're getting the feeling that Calamity's Muse is not doing the normal patron thing here. I have consulted the bones in the past, and I know something of this gate which is sealed. If you wish to go there, you will need that knowledge to pass. Although, as I said, this is not something that I would advise doing.
I appreciate your concern, but my patron pushes me forth.
He sort of nods as though he expected as much, and says, to open the gate, a sacrifice is required. There is more to it, but perhaps it is best that it is told to you by your own, rather than mine.
Probably a good idea.
I can, however, confirm the location for you. Do you know of the mountain which I speak?
Do I know of the mountain of which he speaks?
I mean, it's probably on your map.
The mountain?
We don't have the map up though.
Yeah, here,
It's
he'll
the
do
mountain.
the
Right.
RPG thing where he says, "Here, pull out your map. I'll mark
I'll
it."
put
for
a marker on.
you." So there are a couple of mountains on this part of the Shattered Hook, but this big one,
Right.
that is the Riven Peak. So there.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
I know of this
Sorry,
mountain.
I wasn't looking there. Oh,
It
there.
was still loading for me right there.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forget that this is preloaded for me because I was doing stuff before.
Oof, that's
Yep.
that's pretty far inland. So far from the sea.
So far from the sea.
Our powers are not as strong there.
Yeah. So he says, is there anything else you would ask of me?
I look at Tara.
I'll shake my head no.
I'll say no, and then back in Kara, just be like, "Thank you for your generosity and your help."
He kind of nods and inclines his head a little bit, responding in carrot. He says, "You are welcome in the commune while you remain, but you should not linger."
Right. Thank you.
He kind of just like lowers his head down and goes back to whatever meditation or sleeping that he was doing.
Did we ever ask Midge what her or sect is?
She's Kerjahat.
Okay.
I don't know if you asked her about her specific like oath or patron.
Right.
Is that
But
is that rude? Like a little too close to the chest.
sometimes, I mean, it depends on your relationship with the person, I guess. It is a fairly like personal detail, though.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So you guys step out of the elder's tent and back in the night of the commune.
Quick like sort of perspective thing. I am referenced as storm touched in their society. Do I have any concept of like what that actually means, or did that old man just be like, "You're storm touched, child," and then I always brought that up, and everyone just like nodded like they knew what that meant.
Yeah,
like, okay.
more the latter. It's like, and then if you asked for like clarification, they just be like, "Well, you were touched by the storm."
Right. Okay.
Obviously.
I should probably ask our little Karite girl sometime what the fuck that means. Because I just know that like that's what I am, so I introduce myself.
We probably have had this conversation. I'm just like, it means you're touched by a storm. What more?
I don't know if I would have brought it up.
Oh.
Not yet, at least. Just because, like, I don't know. Your culture seems very guarded. So I just accepted that, like, I'm not totally thrown out of it. I don't know.
Just happy to be part of the club, at least a little bit. All right. So where to next? It's fairly late in the day. If you wanted to, you guys could just like head out directly. But
Well, we still have to get rid of our goods.
oh yeah, that's true.
Also, the Libertine Lodge of Witchcraft. Oh, fuck, if I gotta go there.
Lodge. Yes,
That's... Where the hell is 10?
it's way up at the top.
Oh, that's what I was worried about. Oh, it's so far.
Well, if you guys do intend on selling your goods here, it'll probably you'll probably sell them faster than normally would because there's no like real like port authority here. There's no authority at all. But it will still probably be like a day or two that you're in port.
Did we get the flag code, or did we just be like, yeah, everyone, we'll just tell the captains to watch out for your ship and not shoot you?
For the moment, you don't have the flag code, no.
He said he'd talk about it with the admirals, which
Yeah.
means we're not gonna get it before we have to leave.
Right.
Yeah. So for right now, your exact status with the port is up in the air, I guess you could say.
Okay.
All right. So for is there anything you guys want to do this evening before you just sort of like go about your ship business and try and sell your guns here?
I'm probably gonna hang out here.
Hang out in the commune.
Yeah, I'll probably hang out here for the night.
All right. Sounds good.
Find someone to hang out with, and I don't know, help make dinner or something.
I'll probably go back to the ship and help with ship business. Tomorrow I want to go to the Lodge of Witchcraft.
Okay. Sounds good. Mr. Dibbs, you going back to the ship as well?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So
I'll let Tara know that I'll meet them at the ship in the morning.
Yeah. So Robin, you sort of mingle among the carrots a little bit. There are like teenagers and children among them.
Yeah, but I'm an adult.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to associate with them. You're kind of like probably not really used to hanging out with other young people, just from your experience.
Most of my life in the last few months has been shooting people.
Yep, and
getting shot at
on a ship with like entirely adults.
Yeah.
But they are fairly welcoming to you. As I said before, this is kind of a hodgepodge of a bunch of different tribes. So there are plenty of other Karaites here who are like the lone survivor or the only one of their tribe. You do learn that most, like the sort of the majority of the Karaites here are from a tribe that originates on this island, and their primary patron is the Beast of Bones. So there's a lot of dogs and like bone iconography around the camp. Lots of very like dark, shaggy, mangy dogs. But they're pretty nice for being like war hunting dogs. Anything in specific you want to do there for the evening?
I don't think so. I just want to hang around more Karaites, probably.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, so the morning comes. Your ship is left unhindered. Nobody tries anything. None of those sketchy nights. And yeah, Doomy kind of like meets with Mr. Dibbs and Tara briefly in the morning and says, I'm guessing it will be about 2 days before we are able to sell off all of the guns and weapons that we have here. But after that, we'll be ready for whatever you have in store for us.
Alright, well, we got something. Hopefully.
I mean, do we need them to go with us? I mean, I know we need a ship to get over
Yeah.
there.
So here, you don't technically need it. You don't technically need a ship to go over there. If you, I assume that at some point during these days, you ask around a little bit. So this, so you can navigate through the like shoals and stuff with your frigate, which will be fairly difficult without like a map of the shoals and sandbars, which you gather are fairly closely guarded by the Free Isle folk. There is also a path that over this way that leads to a ferry that goes across this little stretch of land of water here to like a road, or more like a trail that goes between Port Freedom and Grey Harbor. So if you wanted to leave the Forget-Me-Not docked here, you could follow the trail to like the foot of the mountain and take the ferry. But it would definitely take more time to do that.
I mean, either way, we gotta wait a couple days, right?
True. Yeah, I guess you could leave like a little bit earlier if you wanted to do that.
I don't know. Our ship would probably be safe here.
I mean, it's probably gonna be safer here in this harbor than just anchored out
Off
over.
the coast or over the shoals. Yeah. Probably true.
Up to you guys.
It's also pretty obvious if the Forget-Me-Not leads.
Right.
I don't know if they're like watching like for us or something, but
I mean, do we want to try to leave in the dark of the night?
we could do that. I would probably want to do that so they don't know where we've gone.
If you were going to leave in the Forget-Me-Not.
It's only like a 13. Well, we could just walk on the bottom.
Well, there's a ferry, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna walk there, you can take the ferry,
Oh yeah.
which is like a couple miles out of town.
Not saying we can't
I mean,
do
yeah,
the underwater walk thing, but there's also a ferry.
an alternative exists.
Yeah, maybe we just walk there. And they can spend the next week. I don't know. What is there to do on the ship that they can be productive? They could take a week off, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we just had a pretty decent battle, and we've been doing quite a bit. It's got to pay
Take
now.
shore leave, spend their marks.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, I guess.
All right, you guys want to go with that one?
Sure.
In that case, the Forget-Me-Not will stay here. We'll divvy up the plunder from those weapons right now, just so we don't forget about it. Let me just see here how much you're gonna get for that. Definitely more than what you paid for it.
That's all profit.
Okay. Yep. So base value. So that's 1,000 marks.
We had 1 unit. Okay.
For the 1 unit, yep.
And we have how many? You updated our shares,
Yep, 71 shares is accurate.
so
How much?
14 marks a share.
Yep. So 28 more marks to you guys for that.
Nice. I enjoy some beer money.
Yep. And so does the crew.
Oh, what's this for? A little bonus? All right.
All right. So, do you guys want to do anything in Gray Harbor before you set off on your journey? Like, do you want to go up to the lodge
Just the lodge.
All right. So, you guys spent the night here, and then do you want to just do that in the morning and then leave?
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. So you give instructions to your crew in the morning. We're gonna be doing some stuff, and then
We're gonna be waiting for the
Charlotte.
High Admirals to meet.
yes, that is exactly what you're going to be doing.
I will tell them that.
And
So
tell
that-
us if anyone asks, we went west to go.
West.
No, it's probably too obvious then.
You went west. Well, that must mean you went east.
Obviously. Where else would they go if they went west?
South into the sea.
They just swam off. I mean, with you guys, they might believe it.
Well, off we go.
Captain
We-
just Poseidon into the ocean there.
We could do that.
And they're just like, yeah, that checks out.
All right, yeah. So you tell your crew that you are waiting for the High Admirals to make a decision, and you are going to be predisposed in the meantime.
Yep.
Sounds good. Nice.
I'll tell the officers what's really happening.
Okay. So they know just in case you never return.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
If we're not back in like 2 weeks, do whatever the crew votes for.
All right. Sounds good.
Well, how long do we expect to be gone?
I mean, it's
I
the
mean,
walk there is probably like, if you're being generous, like a couple of days. Couple of days there, couple of days back. Say 3 at
So if
most.
we're gone for 2 weeks, something has really gone wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could fly there.
That would definitely help you scale the mountain.
I always forget
Sure.
we're fucking magic users. We don't need to walk.
Walking for suckers.
Unless it's underwater, then we have to
Then
walk.
that's just cool.
Oh yeah. All right. So as you guys you say goodbye to the crew for now, and walk out to the outskirts of town, to the Libertine Lodge. Are all? I assume all 3 of you are going over there.
Can I make a notice roll to see if anyone's watching us,
Sure.
following us, tailing us?
You sure?
I got a 6.
6. Okay. So, as you sort of walk through what would probably be considered like the main, like downtown area, like over here, you do spot like a couple of ravens sitting on the ridge of a building. That kind of catch your eye. No people though.
Okay.
Um,
I'll pretend like nothing's happening as we go up to this number 10 building.
All right.
and see. Basically, I just want to see if they follow us.
You don't see any of them.
And it.
You don't see any more ravens around once you get up there. No. But approaching the lodge, so the shacks become increasingly more ramshackle and sparse the further inland you go, and they are dwarfed by this structure, which is it's not the most presentable of buildings. Like it's pretty much just like a bunch of shacks kind of like mashed together. With maybe a little bit more structural integrity. It looks like they cut a couple of trees for the like support beams. And there's kind of like a semicircle of smaller buildings kind of around the main one, where you see there's like sort of a porch and like a front door along the sort of main walking path. Does not seem to be very like bustling this sort of like hour in mid-morning. You don't really see any signs of people out from the outside.
There's like a main building.
Yep.
I walk right up to the front door and knock.
All right. So the door kind of like rattles in its frame a little bit, and you hear some like creaking of floorboards as somebody walks over and opens it, and you see staying there is a this like very pale, almost like anemic looking younger man. Looks Valish to you, although it's kind of hard to tell because his paleness might just because of like some sort of health condition. But he just has a very like gaunt physique, and he kind of like looks at the two of you, or at the three of you, and yeah, go ahead.
What's the weather like?
It's like sort of partly cloudy, not very windy.
Okay.
You see the spark of magic in his eyes as you make eye contact, and you imagine he does as well, because he gives you this sort of smile and says, "Ah, another practitioner of the arts. I don't believe I've seen you before."
I'm gonna shade my eyes for a second. Like, oh man, the sun is reflecting off your skin. So bright. I'm kidding. I'm Tara. I'm a witch. So's this little one. This is Mr. Dibbs. He's weird. What the fuck is this place?
He kind of smiles and says, "This is the Libertine Lodge of Witchcraft. At least that's what I am trying to get it to be. I am Lachlan. Pleasure to meet you." And he kind of extends a hand. You see across his arm and like palm, there are just like dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of scars.
Okay.
Horizontally across the forearm and laterally.
He needs to get that edge.
So I'm Captain Tara Najar of the frigate Minat.
Come in. Would you like some refreshment? Tea? Coffee?
Coffee,
I
please.
have become a fan of the spiked coffee, if you have any rum.
We have a bit of that, yes.
Then that's for me.
Steps inside. It's pretty shabby on the inside too, but there's like this sort of large, great table with a bunch of chairs around it. And there's a few other people kind of like lingering around inside. A Dracian woman and a Canturan man. and he kind of looks over at the man and says, some tea, if you please, and coffee. And he just sort of like takes your general orders. As you guys sit down and says, so, it is good to see two new mage faces and a interesting gentleman,
A mister.
Mr. Dibbs.
Bert is his first name. I confess I have no idea what your lodge is about. You maybe enlighten us?
Yes, we are a fairly new establishment. I myself am from Federation colonies, and
What?
well,
I couldn't tell.
I had some differences of thought than the mages in the Federation there, and I've over the past couple of years done my best to make an establishment where independent mages can learn and practice magic without as many restrictions as are levied by the Federation, and without the terrible apprenticeship system that the Dracians have. We are fairly small at this point, but it is mostly myself and the handful of other mages in the city. We mostly tend to do business with ship's mages.
And how do you find yourself here? Were you a ship's mage?
No, I found myself here through some good luck and bad luck combined, shall we say. It's quite a long story.
Are you, I guess as the Federations would say, first, second, third?
I am a psychomancer, the third order. Yes. And you?
First.
Most who come here are either first or second order, as